Hi there. It's, what day is it? I don't know. Thursday. Here we go. Sneetches. So, keep in mind that this was written by a guy born in 1904. Yeah, did you know Dr. Seuss was born in 1904? And he saw a lot go on in his world. And so, we'll read it, and you could just form your own opinions. And then I'll kind of talk about what I think. All right. The Sneetches. You ever heard this one? It's really funny. Now, the Starbelly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big. They were really so small. You might think that such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the Starbelly Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. "We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort." And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right past without even talking. When the Starbelly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon theirs. Oh my goodness. I feel like the light might be interfering a bit. I'm going to move this way. Alright. So far. Oh my goodness. When the Starbelly Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near. And that's how they treated them, year after year. See, they're having their big old weenie roast. And look, just left out those guys. Oh, they look so forlorn. Then, one day, it seems, while the plain belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there, wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles, and I've heard you're unhappy. But I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." And you see that all right? There he is. This guy is gonna fix everything, so he says. Then quickly, Sylvester McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a Starbelly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside. Then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. There they go, paying for their stars. Boinkity boink boink clerk. Because it worked. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had the stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know?" They all frowned. if which kind is what or the other way round. Oh my goodness. It's a trauma. Now what? How are we going to tell them apart? Then up came McBean with a very sly wink. And he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who." That is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on the beaches. And all it will cost you is $10 eaches. Yeah. Cashing in. What? You can see him wink there. Yeah. Gotta watch out for those winks, you know. Alright. Belly stars are no longer in style, said McBean. What you need is a trip through my star off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. There we go. Pretty awesome machine, huh? It's taking those little labels on and off as he pleases. Then, with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. We know who is who. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without. Oh my goodness. Then, of course, we know what happens, right? Those with the stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester Monkey McBean invited them into the star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. Yeah. Oh, look at their faces. They're just so stinking mad. Whoa. All right. Have you ever been mad over here? Huh? I know I have. I was mad a little bit today. All the rest of that day, on those wild screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again. In again, out again. Through the machines they raced round and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through until neither the plane nor the starbellies knew whether this one was that one or that one was this one, or which one was what one, or what one was who. See, it's just like, wow. Right here. Yep, just in and out and over and under. Alright, so then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They'll never learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch. So, check it out. Look at what he went away with. Well, but McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches, that day, all the Sneetches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs. What do you know? They're smarter than we thought. Look at that. Yep. They figured it out, didn't they? That's cool. And you know what? That's the end of that story, which I thought was so interesting. So, you can just take that however you want, depending on your age. But I think that maybe for the little ones, it'd be good to remind them and ourselves as adults about Matthew 7:12, which says, "Do to others whatever you would like them to do to you." This is the essence of all that is taught in the law and the prophets, right, Lacey? That's right. What else? Romans 12:10. Okay. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Oh, look, you gotta look, you guys. She doesn't like to look at the camera. What about Philippians 2:3? That's a good one. And this is so like you. Do nothing out of selfish ambition, except for maybe wine when you want to go to the park. Or vain conceit. That's hard. It's like, wow, we want to feel important, but we already are important because we're made by God. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. Yeah. So, one of the things that Jesus talked about in the book of Mark, which is a gospel, chapter 12, 30 through 31, he was telling his disciples what the greatest commandment was. You remember? Is love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah. So that was in Exodus. Remember we read out of Exodus yesterday? If you keep going past chapter 12, I think it's in chapter 20, are the 10 Commandments. But then in the New Testament, when Jesus was speaking to his disciples, they asked him, well, what's the most important thing to do? And he said, well, the most important commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. And then he went on to explain to them that all the other commandments hinge on that command. So, pretty cool, huh? So I'm really glad the Sneetches got it figured out. Yeah. And, we want to keep figuring that out too, that it's just better to love one another and, try not to name call. And I know that's so hard because you have brothers and sisters and they just go after your stuff. They get in your bedroom. They go under your bed and hide and scare you, or they, take your peanut butter sandwich when you're not looking. Stuff happens. And you just gotta learn to get along. Gotta work it out. Yeah. So, I hope you like that story. I've been wanting to read it. But tonight was a good night to do that. All right. So, my 3 and my 1, my 4 grandkids, I love you very much. I hope you enjoyed Dr. Suess, whose real name was Theodore. Hi, bye.